And now it's time for the Maritime Witch, starring Linda. Cue the audience. Yay! Okay, go ahead.
Are you done?
Yeah, baby.
That was a big intro.
Was it? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it was.
Awesome.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 4 of the Maritime Witch. We actually have quite a lot to cover in this episode. The actual content, the real content, is a topic that isn't widely discussed in witchcraft, but we'll get to that later. So just off the get-go, I just wanted to let everybody know that the podcast itself is no longer going to be available on Podbean. I had upgraded the account so that I could keep all of the episodes, and it was getting just way too expensive to keep it going every month. And apparently once you upgrade, you can't downgrade. You have to cancel your whole account. So for now, all of the episodes are no longer available on Podbean because they took away all of them instead of just allowing the last 5 hours. So right now, we are just available on YouTube, audio only, but all of the episodes are there. Would love it if you could hit the subscribe button, like it, share it.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell, yep. And if anything changes, like a wonderful sponsorship and all that good stuff, then you'll be the first to know because you're listening to the podcast.
It'd be like the Maritime Witch, brought to you by Nike Sneakers. There's no better way to run from pitchforks than with Nike sneakers.
Well,
probably not, maybe.
Probably not Nike, but, there's some really cool witchy stuff out there that, wouldn't mind being sponsored by. But anyways, good things come to those who wait. The universe shall decide. The next topic I would like to talk about is just a little bit of a reiteration of something that we had discussed in a previous episode, only because we have just recently watched a documentary on witchcraft, a very recent one that was just made. And there has also been a little bit of back and forth on social media in actually not just witchcraft groups, but any groups on social media. When you're practicing witchcraft, and again, I reiterate this, if this is a path that you want to follow and you're new to this, there is no right way and there is no wrong way. And nobody should be telling you that what you're doing is wrong. And nobody should be asking you to do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to do drugs. You don't have to give money. You don't have to dance naked. You don't have to do, as I said, anything that makes you feel uncomfortable.
What happens if you feel comfortable?
If you feel comfortable, like, hey, you know what? Whatever is in your wheelhouse. But what I'm saying is don't let anybody pressure you. That is the first and foremost, most important. There's a lot of people out there who fancy themselves at the top of the witchcraft game, I guess is what, and it's not that they're not knowledgeable, because they are, but they like to put themselves, sometimes egos get big and they like to put themselves in a position of power. And that to me, that's just not what witchcraft is about. Again, my opinion. If you find a group that you're comfortable with, then fine, do those things. Do it their way if that's what you want to do. If you don't want to develop your own way and you're comfortable doing spells and rituals the way somebody else does them, then that's fantastic. But you can also develop it on your own if that is how you choose to go.
So you can voice your opinion, but don't beat somebody over the head with it.
Now who's doing the hurting?
We all have our opinions and they all matter. But there is a way to express our opinions without hurting feelings. And we all like to be heard. I mean, I have my opinions with the way I like to do things. Am I doing them the right way? Maybe for me they are, but for somebody else they might not be. I've had a couple of people come at me over, just some comments that I made, and they come back, and once somebody feels the way they feel about something, it's very hard to make them understand that the way they read something is perhaps not the way it was intended when the first party wrote it. And some people just aren't willing to listen to the fact that, oh, that's what they meant. Oh, I'm so sorry. Nobody wants to say, oh, I'm so sorry, I misunderstood. They just want to be like, no, this is the way it is and you were wrong and what have you. So
Yeah, I think it's life in general that there's going to be people that have a hard time with letting others have an opinion that's different than theirs.
yeah.
So and that's just in any subject.
Yeah. But I mean, if it boils down to even the fact that if you're learning from somebody or if you're learning from a website or like a Facebook group or something and say, for example, that you want to do a spell and they say, oh, you have to use a pink candle. Well, if you don't have a pink candle and all you have is a white candle, then that's okay. It's about your intention. It's not that you have to own all of these crystals or that you have to own all of the tools of the trade. Witchcraft can be very, very, very simple. And it's about intention and it's about what you put out into the universe. And I think a lot of it is, how you treat people. And like I said, you don't need to spend thousands of dollars. I mean, if you got it and you want to and you can, hey, go for it. But you don't have to. And nobody should be, encouraging you to, well, I shouldn't say encouraging you. Nobody should be telling you that you have to. There's encouragement and then there's just boldface. You have to do this or you have to do that. There's nothing wrong with encouragement. So anyways.
You and I believe in different things and we're okay with that.
Yeah.
And we're okay with each other having different opinions. It's
Absolutely.
fine. It doesn't
Yeah,
mean
you're always wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's in the fine print when I got married. But yeah, just because we have a different opinion, it doesn't mean, it just means what your opinion is right for you and my opinion is right for me.
Yeah. And part of that little rant of mine was spurred by this documentary that we watched. I was so excited because it was new and it was diving into the world of like new witchcraft, like witchcraft today, because it has become such a resurgence, and was so completely disappointed. Not in the three people that they followed, because again, how you practice is how you practice, and there is no right way and there is no wrong way. But there were some things that were kind of brought to the foreground, I felt, that were just didn't paint witchcraft in the modern world in the best light.
Yeah, one was justifying being a witch by tracing her ancestors back to Salem, but Salem wasn't really about witchcraft. It was about a bunch of people being accused
of witchcraft, but they actually weren't witches. It's still, I mean, it's really cool. Like if you have ancestors, but you're not a witch. Again, only my opinion. I don't think that, that's why I'm a witch. Because these people were only accused of practicing witchcraft, and
it was more about getting a property.
And greed. It was power and money.
When you go down to Salem, they tell you about all that.
Yeah, land is power, or was power. So, I mean, I'm not a filmmaker, but I don't know. Like maybe I should do my own documentary on modern witchcraft. It would be a lot different than the one that we watched. It definitely would. And like I said, I was a little disappointed. But anyway, I find actually a lot of what comes out in media as far as documentaries, they focus on the Salem witch trials. They focus on like anything Hollywood wise, again, focuses on so much of the negative in witchcraft versus the group of people that I spend my time with at the holistic fairs. If you want to do a documentary about witchcraft, bring cameras to one of our spiritual fairs, because that's where you're going to get the true vibe of what the modern witch is like. We're everyday working people. A lot of us are still 9-to-5ers, and we've got small home-based businesses that we're taking around these fairs, and the energy of these spiritual fairs and expos is just so incredible. And to me, that kind of got lost in this documentary. And, I think any of us hosting any event would be welcoming to have that side of what we do portrayed in the industry. So anyways, okay, so moving right along. Next thing on the roster, Wednesday, May 1st, probably because we're not going to have another podcast out before then, is Beltane. Again, did discuss that in a previous episode. Not really sure which one. But it is the celebration of spring coming into summer. It is a fire festival. It is a good time to have a bonfire. Let's see, what else can you do? I know you can make a Oh yes, the maypole. Maypole is very important. It's a very huge symbol of Beltane. It's a good time to plant bulbs in your garden and make fire themed food. So barbecue. It's a good time if you do have a bonfire to make a wish and jump over the fire. Just make sure that the flames are very, very, very low before you jump.
Yeah, and your wish should be something like, I hope I make it over this fire.
I think we discussed I think the last time we discussed Beltane, we discussed the long flowy robes and jumping over fire. So
yeah, around here we celebrate by picking ticks off the hedgehog.
Not going to revisit Beltane a whole lot, but that is coming up on Wednesday, May 1st. We do have Mayfest in our area. Again, something else that we discussed before. We have like a lot of yard sales in this area. And again, back to another episode, if you can afford to put gas in your gas tank and drive around the South Shore of Nova Scotia, it's a good time for you to find some really good deals for some secondhand stuff that can be incorporated into your witchcraft. It's you can find stuff for journaling, you can find stuff for crafts, little cabinets, pieces of furniture. Let the universe guide you. The universe has guided me quite a bit lately. So that is going on May 4th and 5th. Generally speaking, depending on the weather for that weekend, I find Saturday is usually the biggest day for the yard sales. Some of them do run 2 days, but most of them, the bulk of them, I think you're going to get the best stuff Saturday morning.
Yeah, see, here's the problem. I have one problem with that. They have it every year right when the black flies start to come out.
I know. Yeah.
So you get out of your car, you run, you look, you run back to the car, and you
you're
pray
not
for your life.
stopping if it's a small table. Okay, so I think before we move into the regular segments, we'll actually get to the real content of this podcast. Again, something that is not discussed a whole lot as a topic in witchcraft. I like to call this my charfruiterie, using fruit in witchcraft. A lot of people know about using crystals and candles and using those in your spell work. But one thing that isn't really discussed a whole lot is the use of fruit in your spells. So I have kind of a big list. So I'm going to try to go through it fairly quickly, but not like so fast that you can't understand me. Apples can be used for spells for love. Careful with the love spells. We've discussed that before too. Passion, happiness, good health. And apples can also be used in curses. Again, be careful there too. Bananas are a good fruit to use for fertility spells, prosperity, remembering your dreams, and pain relief. And again, for curses. Blackberries can be used for love, healing, and protection, and cursing. No, I do the cursing. Curses and binding spells. Blueberries are good for use in healing, protection, for communication spells. And the good thing about using fruit in your spells too is that they're useful in witchcraft, but they're also yummy and they're good for you. So, one of my favorites is cherry.
Cherry blossom, well, it's thick chocolate on the outside.
Can be used in love spells, spells for friendship and emotional healing, happiness, and the juice of the cherry can be used as a substitute for blood. I don't think there's too many of us that want to, again, like the old movies, draw the knife across your hand and then drip your blood into a bowl and set it on fire.
That sounds like a lot of work, a lot of dedication. You know what? I'm thinking the name blueberry must have been invented by a man. Because a man would look at a purple berry and go, that's bluish.
I don't know. Blueberries are blue.
Not really. They're purple.
No, they're not. They're blue.
They're purple.
Again, part of the marriage contract. You're wrong.
If you wipe off the blue that's on it, underneath it's purple.
Some of them are purplish, but they are blue. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Take a blueberry.
All right, everybody, you get to
purple.
vote. Are blueberries blue or are blueberries purple?
You think I'm going to let this broken down old fire truck? You've got another thing coming.
Now, just a minute. Now, after all, we've been through this thing before. I'm not going to...
Send your thoughts to the Maritime Witch
Somebody's going to say, well, it's in the name.
All right, getting back to our Charfruiterie. Grapefruit can be used in spells for happiness, confidence, and protection, and they also repel negativity. Grapes can be used in prosperity spells. They are used in luck spells and can be used for spells for luxury, joy, and happiness.
And they make wine too.
Yeah, no, grapes are so good.
It's the fruit that keeps giving.
Kiwi is a fruit that can be used in spells for secrets and finding answers and luck. Lemon, let's see here, can be used for love spells, friendship, and inspiration. And the lime in the coconut.
She put the lime in the coconut. She drank and poured up. She put the lime in
For emotional healing, protection, energy, protection, and curses. Boy, that little lime, for such a little fruit, man, it's very versatile. There's a lot of fruits on my list too that we'd be here all night going over all of them. And I still have a lot to cover. So orange can be used in love and friendship spells, can be used for divination, creativity and inspiration, for bringing new opportunities, and for good luck.
And it goes good with vodka.
Oh my. You do see, well, the next one's good for a fuzzy navel because we're going to the peach.
Peaches, 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 peaches. Oh, yeah.
The peach, happiness spells, protection spells, also good in exorcisms, fertility, and knowledge. Also good for motivation. The pear is for love and abundance, bounty, and wealth.
Why do they call it a pear? It's only one.
Oh, good Lord. Do you see what I have to put up with? He's just such a good sound guy.
No. So do you hear what you got to put up with?
That's right. You can't see us yet. Maybe one day. Persimmon is used in happiness and healing and is for wisdom. Now, I gotta tell you, persimmons, you gotta brush the sugar off your teeth once you're done with those little things. They are sweet, sweet, sweet. They're good, but they are sweet, sweet, sweet,
you
sweet,
can
sweet.
feel your teeth aching as
you can, yeah, you can
them.
feel the sugar on your teeth. They are so, so sweet.
It's like that, what was that candy that time? Peeps, I think it is. Or
I
that
love
sweet.
Peeps.
They're really sweet.
Oh, I know. It's like a sugar high.
You feel your teeth like just rotting as you're eating them.
Now we got to get some Peeps.
Oh.
Little marshmallow Peeps. All right, pomegranate. Used in spells for protection, wisdom, and beauty. And again, like the cherry, can be used as a substitute. The pomegranate juice can be used as a substitute for blood. They're very juicy fruits, and they they look like blood.
Juicy fruit.
Juicy fruit.
I'm going to put an insert in here.
I bet you are.
Juicy fruit is gonna move ya. It juices soft, it gets right to ya. Juicy fruit, the taste is gonna move ya.
Raspberry can be used for courage and love, and is also, again, one of the red berries, so it's a substitute for blood as well. Strawberries can be used in love spells and curses. Again, careful with the curses. Is that the end of my list? Oh, hang on. Now there's one here underneath a staple that I can't see. Oh, watermelon is used for, I love watermelon. It's one of my favorites. Good for luck and renewal and happiness, and for rebirth and renewal. And on that note, we will move to, that's it for our fruits. So talking about renewal, we will move on to the full moon section of the podcast.
Bark at the moon.
So the full moon in April, Tuesday, April 23rd is the pink moon. And it is a good time for rebirth and renewal. It's the best night for a pink moon spell is actually Friday night or the 3 nights surrounding it. But this actually falls on a Tuesday. So you're poop out of luck there for doing a Friday night spell. So it's on the Tuesday night. Spells to do, things to manifest, love, friendship, serenity. You can use pink candles, pink rose quartz, pink flowers. And because it is the pink moon, I think it's named because of the very first flowers that would come out would be like the pink ones in the spring. So it was called the pink moon. So yeah, Tuesday, April 23rd.
Are you sure it's pink?
Well, it might be purple. I don't know. Well, all of a sudden, colors have become a touchy subject in this house.
You know, when you wipe the stuff off it might be a different color.
Well, I don't know if anybody's going to be wiping anything off the moon, but anyways, yeah, get out there and enjoy that. And again, because it's a full moon, as with any full moon, it's a great a great time to charge your crystals, cards, tools, anything that you use. You can draw down the moon. Actually, that would be a good thing to do, would be to talk about in a future episode, talk about drawing down the moon. Okay, future episode.
I think I'd want the moon to stay right where it's at. Thank you.
The moon does stay where it is.
Oh, okay.
Where it is, not where it's at.
That's some good English, then, there you.
It is. Okay, so then we will move on to the zodiac section of the podcast.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
So this zodiac section, we're going to be talking about Taurus. Taurus runs from April 20th to May 20th. April 20th to May 20th, yeah. It is the second house of the zodiac. Taurus, okay, so you can be hard-headed, stubborn, but also down to earth and reliable. Those under the sign of Taurus are resistant to change. Your element is earth, color is green, your lucky number is 5, and your luckiest days are Wednesday and Friday. And it's lucky for you to wear a horseshoe pendant. So
if you're a Taurus, you could also be a car.
Actually, you know what? There's a lot that's been within the celestial metaphysical realm that has been used for that sort of stuff, isn't there?
I think if you're
But yeah, Taurus. We had a Ford Taurus. Do we have a Ford Taurus?
I think so. If it's a Taurus, she could be a car. If it's a tortoise, it's a slow car.
So then we are now going to move on to the shout out section of the podcast. So the shout outs, we actually have quite a lot to talk about for the shout outs. So first and foremost, April 27th. At the Kingston Lions Club. I have the address 1482 Veterans Lane. There is going to be a spiritual expo between 10 and 4, $2 admission. I'm not going to be able to make it to that one. So then, just trying to keep up with the ones that are going to be happening before the next podcast is released. So May 4th and 5th, Mayfest weekend. So if you're out and about, there is the Holistic and Healing Fair in Bridgewater. It is at the Days Inn Conference Center, 50 North Street. Saturday, it runs from 10 until 5, and then Sunday, it runs from 10 until 4. So we've got April 27th and May 4th and 5th. So coming up, not to be discussed all in this podcast, there are also going to be spiritual expos in different areas, which we will cover as we get closer to them. So mark your calendars. June 29th, that's in the Valley somewheres, I do believe. I didn't write down the location. July 6th in Chester, August 24th in Mahone Bay, August 31st in the Valley. Again, I did not write down that location. September 21st in Lunenburg, September 28th in Bridgewater, October 19th in Mahone Bay, November 16th in Lunenburg, and then November 23rd in Chester is the Merry Witchmas Fair, 3rd annual Merry Witchmas Fair. So there's a lot actually going on, and these are not all of the events. So if you want to take in any of these events and look for events in your area, if you're not in those ones that I just mentioned, on Facebook, there is a wonderful Facebook page called Maritime Holistic Fairs run by Carol. And she has a listing of all of them and where they are, the communities that they're in, and who I do believe is hosting them as well. If you are a vendor, then you can reach out to those people to see if you can book a space for those events as well. So yeah, a lot going on. We're in your face, man. We want to see you. We want you to come out and hey, if you want to do a documentary that speaks to the true nature of the modern witch, come on out and meet us. And we'd love to meet you. We'd love to talk to you. And we do understand that, the price of things is, and that's the other thing too. Okay, so let's talk about the price of things before we go. I know that gas is getting expensive and the price of things, groceries, everything is going up.
Blueberries.
The price of blueberries is definitely gone up. Purple berries.
That a girl. I knew eventually I'd win you over.
Yeah, I swayed to the dark side. But when you come to these events, you're supporting local charities because a lot of the admissions are donated, and you're supporting small local business. And a lot of the products and the services, you're not going to get a better price anywhere else. Where, a lot of us aren't in this. I mean, obviously we all have to put food on our table and pay our bills, but we're not in the business to gouge people. We're just out there to put ourselves out there, and you can buy some really, really great stuff at some very low cost prices. And if you are a beginner witch and you want to start cost effectively putting some things together, and I'm not taking anything away from businesses that, like have stores or anything like that, but you are going to get things probably a lot cheaper at these fairs. You're not going to be able to get everything you want, obviously, but there are some really, really cool items that people bring to these events. So come on out and support us. And, if you're out and about, then come and introduce yourself to the Maritime Witch. And
because you probably spend more than you make.
most oftentimes, by the time I do gas and lunch and then shopping afterwards.
And getting hubby a little treat for driving you around.
Yeah. My chauffeur and
beer.
My errand boy while I'm there. Go get this, go get that. Oh, we need this. Oh, go pick this up.
And I say, what's that? You want me to get you a case of beer?
Mm-hmm.
Vodka.
Oh, I love vodka. Yeah. Fuzzy peach. Fuzzy peach. Those are good too.
Everybody's going to think I'm an alcoholic or something.
Well, you do talk about it a lot, but you don't really drink a whole lot. So.
Not anymore, no. No, those days are well, I'd be dead if I drank what I used to, so.
Hey, we've all put away our fair share back in the day. So if you have any questions, drop us a line. maritimewitch@gmail.com. If you have, like I said, any questions, any content that you would like to see covered, let us know. And we actually know what the next podcast is going to be about. So stay tuned for the May podcast, because we are actually going to have a special guest. The Maritime Witch is going to start doing some interviews.
I'm not a special guest.
A specialer guest. Is that a word? Yeah. So in the meantime, may the universe find you. Oh, what is it that I say?
May the universe just find you in general.
May the universe find you happy, healthy, and safe. Blessed be.